What's up, everybody? It's your boy Ja. Today, we got stories of Michael Jordan that I had never seen before. So, shout out to Basketball Time Machine. This is where you can get some of the greatest MJ stories on the internet. So, go follow his channel. Shout out to him. If you rock with me and you rock with the Black Kryptonian himself, the GOAT, hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe. Let's get it.
In the early 90s.
It was, I'm not gonna say it was overdue, but the timing was good for Michael because he realized, he couldn't do it all by himself. I think Michael, he knew about team at Carolina, but I don't think he really mastered it until guys like Horace Grant, Pippen, guys like that. Cartwright was a big part of the conversations with Michael. He had to learn through the Pistons, really. But once he got past that, and once Phil was in place, and he trusted his teammates, trusted Paxson and Kerr and those guys, he was driven. He would drive them, but yeah, all those guys made him better. They enhanced his game. And that's why they started to win. Now, Lakers were done, Boston was done, Detroit was kind of over. Hakeem Olajuwon did what he did, but the league was right for Michael. Utah was still there. He had some challenges, but once he tasted the honey, he wanted some more. That's where he is.
He won 2 chips with no All-Stars.
Yeah,
2.
He once he tasted. That's it for him. He's like locked in. It's like golf for him. Once he gets locked in, that's it. And I've never seen one player that challenges everybody, like in your face.
And the next player that we're going to take a look at is Jalen Rose, who obviously played many times against Michael Jordan, especially when he was playing with the Indiana Pacers, a very much underrated team back in the day. And yeah, he talks about what it was like guarding MJ and who he got the task from. Oh yeah, Larry Legend. Let's hear what Jalen has to say.
Larry Joe Bird looks at Jalen Rose and he like, your role right now is to go guard number 23. And I was like, oh, okay, that's a huge responsibility. You know what I'm saying? First off, like serious? Like, oh, you trusted me with that? That's awesome. Okay. But then I didn't read the fine print. And that was, if he score on you twice, then I'm taking you out. Like straight up. If he score on you twice. Now just think about it. When you talk about greatest players and scorers of all time in the NBA, what do you rank?
You're number 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Right. So your coach tells you now, because this is my role. See, people see me later in my career when I was basically washed and playing against Kobe. And by the way, he's top 10 all time as well. In this series, that was my role. I actually played good defense on Michael Jordan. And because I knew in my head, if he scored on me twice in a row, I was out the game. That was the rule.
Hold up. I have a follow-up question. What I would have said to Larry Joe Bird, were I in your position, I'd be like, does it count if I foul him? Is that twice in a row? Does that count? Does that count if I foul him? Does that count? I don't think that counts, Coach. I don't think that counts.
I'm glad you went there, sir. You ready for this? That documentary is about 1998. And I guarantee you, in a lot of those games, I had a lot more fouls than points. That's exactly what I was doing, Jacoby.
Who is the GOAT basketball player in your opinion?
Michael Jordan. Period.
I don't need to laugh at y'all.
I get it. Everybody says LeBron James and Kobe Bryant. The young gonna say my son, LeBron.
I'm young and MJ is the GOAT. I'm smart enough to know now, through all the footage, through all the damn criticism, I didn't argue with people on the street when I was young. Just to come to find out, I had to really sit down and lock it in with MJ. MJ is the GOAT, and it's no debate. It's so far of a gap that you could add all the players together and they still don't hit his marks, still don't look like him on the floor. For me, it was really the eye test first. I had to get the eye test right. Like, What? I ain't never seen that. That's an alien or something. That's why I call him the Black Kryptonian, man. We need Black Kryptonian t-shirts. I'm rambling.
LeBron James. Because they know he hasn't seen Michael Jordan.
I've seen Mike. I haven't seen as much Mike as y'all.
Yeah.
Whatever meeting y'all came together and had as y'all generation to say Michael Jordan just never had a mistake made on the basketball court is unbelievable to me. It's closer than what y'all making it seem between LeBron and Michael Jordan. It's closer.
Oh hell no! Oh hell no! I can't let the young boy do that. I feel like an OG right now, schooling my youngins. If you young out there, bro, just go check out some footage. You don't have to come to my channel. Just go check out some footage. Check out about 30 minutes to an hour of Michael Jordan. Raw footage, and you pause. And then you gonna come to the realization that we all came to. Michael is like, to be honest, one of the greatest athletes ever. There's only like a few up there in different sports, and he might be above them as well. He's the greatest competitor we ever seen in life. And to say it's closer because you like LeBron instead of really taking the time out to use your eye test, the stats already say Mike's the best. The stats already say it. LeBron got the scoring title, like as far as many points in a career, but MJ has 10 scoring titles. So he's like, it shows you right there, if y'all want to use that metric. He has 10 scoring titles. Like, come on, man. He has a defensive player of the year, an MVP. Did he get a ring that year? I think he got a ring that year. Bro, and a finals MVP. Like, bro, think about that. He left Earth, man.
It's not?
I say it's not because of the competition level. And I'm not, LeBron is one of the best ever to play the game, but when you run around different teams, play with this guy, play with that guy, Mike never did that. Never did that. He stayed and got Pippen, but other than that, it was just some... This
is why Scottie Pippen hate Michael Jordan.
Good players, but LeBron James, Kobe stayed 20 years with the Lakers. LeBron, he's always running around playing with Wade, Chris Bosh, they won, and
Kyrie, Kevin Love.
Kevin Love.
So Michael or Sam, whoever, they were senior leaders and junior leaders, they picked the team. And the first day, you as a freshman, you're just sitting because they're not picking you.
Mm-hmm.
So you get on the court in. So about a week later, Michael's picking, and he's like, I got New York. They used to call me New York.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I got New York. I was like, oh shit, I got picked first. He's like, first, it's 20 pros in the gym.
Yeah, official.
I was like, oh, it's kidding. I was like, so my confidence was boosted. So now we playing, right? And we winning games. And so every time we win, you go get water, and I'm watching Mike, and he's standing in the middle of center court. I'm like, I'm like, yo, what are you doing? He's like, I want the motherfuckers to know that I'm never leaving the court. I'm gonna be the first to stand here and the last. I was like, all right, so we both gonna stand here. And I was like, this is what we doing. This is how we doing it.
This is what we doing.
Yeah, he was the first dude that I met that could back up his trash. Like every day.
Mm-hmm.
Every day.
Always a talker?
Always a talker, and always backed it up though. Like, and he really took more pride, especially then, his defense. He's like, Walter Davis, you're not scoring today. You're not scoring today, Walter Davis. Like that's the type of energy he was on all the time. And when he got to the league, so we had dorms, and our dorm numbers don't change. So if you had dorm number 8, it's the same phone number next year. You're just a different person. So when he comes in town, this is before the Instagram, and you'd hear the phones go, bring, and somebody hang up, bring. And you just hear it going down. So it's him. And all he say is, school's in session. Boom. School's in. So everybody come in the hallway and be like, Mike's here, right? Mike. So he'd go and he'd call each room to let her know, come to the gym.
School's in
session. So the gym would be packed. We'd have 4,000 people watching our pickup games.
That's crazy.
I realized he's from North Carolina, but he got a Brooklyn attitude, and he was born in Brooklyn. He got a Brooklyn type attitude. When I was in Brooklyn as a kid, the confidence that is in that borough, that's why they got so many great people in different fields, rapping, acting, all types of, because that Brooklyn energy, he got that. I see it. I see the Brooklyn in him. Yo, that's crazy.
Michael and I had this conversation recently. He said, okay, now that you're retiring, you can come out with me and play golf. I said, no. I said, you're going to have to play golf. Yeah, not with you, though. I've been playing since college. Like, you want to get me out there and just kill me. Like, no, I'm not a golfer. I'm not going to play. I'm a realist.
You know, Ron Harper used to give Michael the numbers. MJ, we're in a practice. Phil said, tell him to go home, and he didn't know why, and he waited. And he was like, all right, we're playing for minutes, scrimmage for minutes. And MJ came in, nah, you ain't putting me out. And he had on regular tennis shoes. They looked like Vans, but they were Nike. He had his sweats cut and rolled at the bottom. You know, he thought he was fly. He wasn't. But, you know, you don't say nothing to the Messiah. And he was like, yeah, put all the Pistons on that team, Wood Harp, and Harp was pissed. And we're playing. All of a sudden, I'm running back, and MJ gets a steal. And he's about to do the right-hand jump. I said, oh, I know exactly what dunk you're going to try. I'm getting this. I don't care. Drop, step, and turn around, about to jump. And as I'm about to jump, his midsection is moving past my face. And you know, you try to bring yourself down. He was like, block this, bitch. Boom.
When you took the job as the head coach of the Bulls, you came as the assistant. I got drafted, and I got the phone call that you were going to be the coach. Talk a little bit about what that experience was coming from an assistant to head job, and then what changes you had to make when you went from that role.
Doug kind of relied on me to fill out the defensive forums and lead the team in discussion. I came in at the same time with Scottie Pippen and Horace Grant. I had a relationship with a couple of rookies that turned out to be super players for the Bulls. I was a systems coach. The idea that we needed to have something more than individual plays was, I think, really the trial. And it was through using a system that allowed for other people to be featured in an offense. Telling Michael Jordan that, hey, we're going to run a system. You're not going to be a scoring champion. And he said, you mean it's going to be equal opportunity in offense? I said, yeah, well, everybody's going to be part of the offense. So what happens when the 24-second clock runs down and Bill Cartwright has the ball in his hands?
And the next clip that we're going to take.
MJ is a dog, bro. He said, what happens when the wrong player has the ball? Like, listen to that. That is the mentality of just greatness right there. Like, nah, we go system, whatever, man. I'm going to need that ball 24 seconds, man. Bill Cartwright. Shout out to Bill Cartwright, man.
Take a look at this from Reggie Miller. And just a little recommendation from my side. That clip is taken from a segment called, I think, Reggie Miller Hall of Fame Career. I think it's on YouTube like for over 10 years. And it goes on for 20 minutes and it's super interesting. Obviously also talking about Michael Jordan. And just the rivalry between MJ and Reggie Miller, I loved it. And what I really like about Reggie Miller, he always comes clean, always says that he was jealous of Michael Jordan. He wanted to have what MJ had. And I like that about him. He keeps it 100. So let's have a look.
Michael Jordan, what do you remember about playing him when you guys were on the floor and he was guarding you and you were guarding him? And I'm sure some terrific shootouts over the years between just the two of you.
You know, looking back over 18 years, you'd have thought that Michael and I, the Bulls and the Pacers, would have played more than once in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. We only played once, and it was that epic 7-game series. You're measured by your competition. He is clearly, and in my opinion, the best basketball player I've ever seen to date.
Me too.
And I knew that I had to bring it each and every time I stepped on the court when I was going against MJ.
Were you friends?
No.
Now Michael Jordan and Reggie Miller having a go at it. And I mean, we get fist going here.
I respect Reggie Miller because he's the only one who, like, went at MJ no matter what. In the games that they did play, he went at him. You know what I'm saying? Couldn't beat him, but he went at him. He like, yo, I'm not scared of you. I'm coming. I'm fighting. I'm scratching. I'm clawing. And you got to respect a person like that because a lot of people bow down to Michael Jordan, clearly. You're supposed to. He's the Black Kryptonian. But Reggie is just like, he's a different beast. And maybe it's because he was getting beat up by his sister and stuff like that. He came out on the court and it was like, nah, I'm not having that. But I respect Reggie so much.
Come the benches. Bo Hill is out there. Bill Jackson's going out there. There'll be fines handed out all over the place here. But more importantly, what in the world ignited this?
We weren't friends.
Talk to each other on the floor?
He might have been the one player I didn't talk to.
Really?
Yeah. Because he might have been the one player who could really embarrass you.
And he could come back at you pretty good too.
Yeah, he could come right back at you.
Focus.
I wanted what he had. Him being the best, the championships. So I watched, I listened, and I tried to learn a lot by playing against him.
And what did you learn? What a couple things you took away from what he did or how he played or how he acted?
He is cut from the same mold as Magic Johnson. And when I say that, and Larry Bird, all three of those players, win by any means necessary. And they will do whatever it takes on the court to win a game.
And you adopted that.
I tried to adopt that, yeah. You had to be textbook when you played the Bulls and you played against Michael.
Swept by the 90s in 97 by the 69 win Bulls. What was Mike like in his focus in that team at that time?
Mike is Mike. Like,
plain and simple.
Mike is Mike. I remember, I don't know if he gave us a 50 piece, I think, or maybe 40 something. And I'll never forget Cal Bacini being like distraught. And he walked in another room like after the game. I was like, man, get out of there, man. Come on in here, man. We good. But you know, Mike is Mike. Mike is Mike. Mike was able to dominate when he needed to and how he wanted to. And, you know, Mike was a mismatch. We know that.
Scotty, when did you first learn that Michael was sick?
Well, we all knew kind of at our morning sort of get together. Wasn't really a shoot around, but we would meet and just have breakfast together. So we all knew, and it was kind of thrown up in the air whether or not Michael would be playing. But
so you guys thought he might not play?
Yeah, well, some of the guys did.
Right.
But it was one of those situations where really it was a 50-50 chance that he may or may not play. But knowing Michael like I did and the years that I had spent with him, I kind of knew he was going to make an effort. And, you know, come game time.
You know what's crazy to me is he had more than just a flu game. He's been sick. He's a human being, you know. He has sick days. We just didn't notice. We noticed clearly he was sick in this game, but I could imagine how many sick days he had where he just woke up, wasn't feeling it, and came out there giving people 50, 40, 60. I mean, how is this not your GOAT?
You know, he showed up, he was on the bus, and pretty much did his same routine. You know, you could see that he was real sluggish and laying around, so I just felt like I'm going to have to give him a little bit of a lift to get through this one tonight.
We saw in the highlight, and Stu Scott says that, you know, you were very aggressive early. That you knew that you had to sort of set the tone because he would not be able to in the same way.
Yeah, I did. And, you know, I could just see it in his eye. He was weak. And, you know, I just wanted to be more offensive minded and stay aggressive. I got on the post and was trying to do the things that I could to keep us going early, and knowing that Michael, you know, he had always been our closer. So I knew down the stretch I was going to need some of that Jordanness to come out, and some of his heroics. And, you know, it was just one of those games where he finally was able to find himself and, you know, get that second win. And once he got going, it was one of those games that you just wanted to be a part of. You just will never forget how he was able to find such energy and such desire to win that game for us.
You think of Jordan, you think about the...
I gotta say this too. Before Future hit Scottie Pippen's wife in some Gucci flip-flops, he actually loved Michael Jordan, and he was honest about him. After that moment, I mean, I don't know what happened between that moment, but that changed Scottie Pippen forever, bro.
Dunks. You were a shooter.
Our games were vastly contrast. You know? His was more power, dunking. Mine was more shooting, finesse. But for some reason, I think my style at times irritated him because I was in constant motion. He used his power to control players and to keep them where he wanted them.
He had great torque.
Yes, he did.
Just the way
and let me say this about Michael. Probably, if not one of the smartest basketball players. You know, you talk about his ability to be athletic and all that, but he was a very smart basketball player.
He thought the game through.
Yes.
You thought the game through.
And he kneh what your weaknesses were, and he tried to exploit them.
McKee gets it in the middle for the win. It's there! 0.4 of a second.
because that was another game where I felt that we had let slip away because Michael was being Michael and dominating, along with Scotty and Dennis. There wasn't a lot of time left on the clock. At the time, Ron Harper was guarding me, and I knew Michael was going to switch off when I came up top. And I said to myself, well, they're not going to call offensive foul. So when I came up, I was just so upset that we had let this game slip away from us. I basically just shoved Michael. I just pushed him out of the way, daring the officials to call offensive foul because I was so upset. And when I didn't hear the whistle and I had so much space and I went off to my left and Derek threw me the basketball, and now you just go into mechanics. If I had known that I had that much space, I probably would have shot it differently and probably missed it. But I assumed he was right on my tail. So catch, release, and let it go. And the rest is history.
Michael looking back at him, he flashing that glove sign. He didn't like that shit. That's the shit. That's the shit there. That's you gotta get Michael going, man. When you see that look right there,
trouble.
Oh, you got some problems coming, man. Because now he don't want to talk to you. Now he got something to prove to you. You got number problems.
You get a chance to know Mike off the court?
Not so much off the court, but definitely
battles on the
court, man. Yeah. Definitely battles on the court. I respect him. I got a lot of mad respect for the man. You know,
man.
I've seen people be physical with Mike. I've seen him have a game plan to stop him. He altered his game plan every night. You couldn't stop him. When we played Mike in the finals, we was trying to engage with him a lot, man. We really wanted him.
Physicality.
We wanted physicality. We wanted to, we was trying to test him, but he wasn't
going for it.
He wasn't going for it. He was focused.
For future references on this Knuckleheads podcast, if we ever mention him, Jay, the GOAT.
Him, not Jim. Tell him.
The best, the greatest. We ain't talking about nobody but Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
Baby.
That's it.
No question.
No, don't get it misconstrued. We don't want to do this every time.
We don't want to do this every
That's
time.
my hero. Like, that's my guy. Like
mine too.
I ain't no sucker, man. I can't help what I love and what I care about, what means something to me, and who created Allen Iverson. Like, he helped create Allen Iverson. I love that motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like, I love Michael Jordan.
We used to always say, okay, we ain't gonna let Jordan get 50 on you. But he did. You know?
Yeah, I came up, like, who was the people? Who was the one person or a few people that y'all looked at and was like, I want to be like that person?
MJ was always somebody I wanted to, like, every kid wanted to be MJ, right?
Everybody tried Michael Jordan. Jordan, of course, was number one on the list.
I used to love Jordan like we all did, you know what I'm saying?
We watch Michael Jordan, we want to emulate him. We watch all these greats.
What made y'all like be like, okay, I really want to hoop, like this is my dream I'm going for?
Simple for me, bro. I was watching MJ every day. I legit, that's, you know, a lot of people say that, and they, you know, nah, that's the real true life story for me. I was watching MJ growing up here in Chicago, WGN sitting on my floor, watching the greatest to ever do it. Like, I'm like, I want to be like Mike for real. Like, and I'm going out in the hall, in the driveway, in the alley, trying to mimic the moves and doing all of that. And to the point where, you know, when you get a little bit older and you start, you know, seeing what's really going on, you like, I want to hoop.
Who was the first person when you got to the league to bust your ass?
Y'all know that motherfucking MJ. it was some bug. You know, I didn't know it was him.
What was he saying to you guys throughout this, you know, early in the game, leading up to the game?
You know what? Michael wasn't saying much. He just had this look like he was living in his own world. And then, you know, he wasn't even being aggressive offensively as the Michael that I have known or come to know. But throughout that game, you could just see he started to feel it a little bit. And as always, once he started to feel it, we just flooded with the basketball. But, you know, he was very quiet, didn't say much when he went to the bench. He was just kind of in his own world. And for
Listen, paying $14.99 a month
the
for
greatest.
a streaming app and $9.99 a month for a music app and
guys who never played with Michael, I've played with him, so I've seen these moments where he kind of shunned everybody out.
Right.
And that was one of those moments where he was just trying to gather himself and just, stay in the game. We thought at any moment he may go to the locker room or puke up on the floor, but he does it now. And you can see in these photos that I didn't care if he puked up on me.
Right. We're like, let's go.
Get it done.
Well, these pictures. I asked the guys to pull the still pictures because there's sometimes where video is better, obviously, but sometimes I love it when the still picture just captures the moment. You basically carrying him off the floor. What was? Tell me what it
was
felt
easy.
like.
He carried me for like 11 seasons.
Very good.
But it was great. Me and Michael, we had a special bond, and we had been together for so long, and it was just one of those games where it was one of the most important.
It's sad to see where Scottie Pippen is now. He don't even feel that way, and he just said we had a special bond. Now he just like hates MJ. It's crazy to me. I knew they had a bond because y'all won 6 in a row damn near. And if Michael would have stayed them 2 years, y'all would have had 8 rings. Y'all would have had 8 rings. There was nobody stopping him. There was nobody stopping him. I don't care about the Houston Rockets and none of y'all. Y'all didn't have the will of MJ. It's the willpower.
Important games of our careers. And
he's clinging to you in this moment. I've never seen him. I've never seen him like this before.
You know what? I felt that at some moment he didn't really know where he was at. He didn't know what he was doing or what was going on, because I think he was probably medicated a little bit and trying to fight the bug. And
Scottie and his Hawk, and as Dennis and as me, and I think Randy Brown. And, I'm in a small cubby hole in the corner. And MJ said, "Sal, what kind of shoe you wear?" I said, "Oh, Nike." He said, "Oh, what's your size?" I said, 15. And he looked at the shoes I had brought in from Toronto and was like, "Oh, okay." And I'm thinking, why? Okay. Next day I get in, my locker is full to where I can't sit down. Oh. The whole locker is stacked with Nikes no one else has yet. And only Alonzo Mourning wears 15. So I got them before Alonzo got them because they came in red and black. I was so happy. I was like, yo, you are the man. He doesn't even understand the way I think about sneakers. It's like, I was like, I would hug you.
So let me set the stage. It's 2003, All-Star Game. It's in Atlanta.
Atlanta.
Tell me.
So 2003 in Atlanta, MJ's last All-Star game. And it was,
Janae and I were on our way to grade school.
The NBA, if you would, kind of encourage, hey, it's probably a good idea that MJ starts in his last game. That was a no-brainer for me, but you go through all the protocols. And I remember walking in All-Star, all of the festivities, how All-Star Weekend is. This is bananas. And MJ's in the back doing what MJ does with Ahmad and all those guys. And I walk in, I said, hey, MJ, it's your last All-Star game and everything. You're going to start. He said, no, you earned it. I said, no, you don't hear me. You're going to start, because I didn't want to get blackballed. I didn't want the NBA in the world like, how did you take MJ's spot? Yeah, how is he not starting his last All-Star game? Yeah. So he's like, no, you earned it. Go ahead. So I go back in, get dressed, and I'm like, man, there's no way. So I go shoot, and right here, that conversation right there is where I'm telling him, and he's telling me, he's like, you earned it. I said, you're going to do it. So I said, MJ, look here. I am going to walk into the back of the locker room during starting lineups, because I'm not. You're going to start. I'm not about to get blackballed. So I started walking in the back, and they call him out. Boom, he walks out, starting lineup, and everything good. Right here, you see patented MJ fadeaway over Sean Marion. I mean, if you notice right here, nothing but net. We tried our best. We're yelling to stop the game right there. It was like 7 seconds, I think. We're saying, stop the game. Yep. Well, rest in peace to Kobe Bryant. Being Kobe Bryant, he wanted to win the game, steal the show. So he gets the ball out of a timeout. He gets fouled by Jermaine O'Neal, hits both free throws, and we lose.
I don't respect that from Kobe. I don't respect that. Like, it's MJ last game. It is a ceremony, and it is something we should all celebrate. Like, you know what I'm saying? Too. The competitor, I get it, but it was an All-Star game, and it was MJ's last All-Star game. You know what I'm saying? Too. Don't steal the show from the GOAT. Sometimes you got to let the GOAT live. And guess what? They lost anyway, because Michael Jordan earned the position that he's in. You know what I'm saying? Too. A lot of people might say they earned it or something like that, but he put the NBA damn near on the map. The NBA was cool with Larry and Magic, but he put that shit to a whole nother level. People don't even get the contracts that they get now if there's no MJ. You get what I'm saying to you? There's nothing in the world that happens in the NBA right now is because of like one man. Now it's several others, but one man kind of like was the catalyst to the beginning of all this great shit. You feel me? And then LeBron came through and kind of ruined it with the player empowerment shit.
Oh my
we
God!
ended up losing that game, but it was memorable just watching MJ for the last time in the All-Star game, and I grew up watching MJ and shooting the fadeaway, and he hits it right there in that moment. All-Star game, we were like, NBA, this is it. This is how you close in error in an unbelievable career from MJ. But
so that's MJ.
From the beginning, like, what's up, Mike? Right. Like, damn, what kind of cologne you got on? It smell good too.
Yeah, I was talking shit to him in preseason. I didn't know that they don't play in preseason. Right. So I'm killing him. Had about 21. He played about 7-8 minutes. Then all of a sudden, we got to play him in the first game of the regular season.
Hit the first 3 buckets, 6 points. Now he got 14 points in the first quarter. Coach called a timeout. Paul Silas said, "Hey, y'all just gonna sit and watch homeboy over here getting fried?" Couldn't even get off the fact that, like, what kind of cologne he was wearing. You know what I mean?
And I get quick 2 fouls, man, in 4 minutes, man. I sit down, man, I'm got 35, 7, 10.
And it's like 35.
Bro, I remember, I literally
42.
After the game, he was like, "Welcome to the NBA."
Me playing, Michael posted me up. You can't let Michael get the ball. At this point, he's the best player in the league. Then I hit him in the ribs. And I broke his ribs by mistake. Right, Mike hit me up. "Hey, who's this?" Mike who? Michael Jordan. Oh shit. And he says, "Yo, it's all right, man. Don't worry about it. It happens. And I was like, "Oh, all right, cool." And I went back to play.
Initial thoughts on MJ and how did you guys build your friendship that's still lasted today? I guess, like I said, when I got there and just when the season started, just my work habit and, seeing that I was dedicated, I didn't take nothing for granted.
I can't let Charles Oakley would have not been in no type of NBA without a MJ, carrying. Because let's say he stays a couple more years before MJ get there. He wasn't really that skilled of a player for me personally, for anyone to be excited about him. But the only reason why we really know Charles Oakley's name is because of MJ. It's crazy to think how many people he's elevated and boosted in the NBA. You know what I'm saying to you? Like, what? He was the carrier of the NBA. People don't know it, but some of y'all wouldn't have had a job without MJ. For sure. He's the savior of the NBA.
Always on point. And, when you're young, they're going to test you. And knowing the plays, staying afterwards, getting your work in. So I was about work. So when somebody seen you work, in game, then I didn't play a lot early, but when I got in, I knew how to play, rebound, outlet, set picks, I wasn't looking for them to give me nothing. I was just working. Mm-hmm. But we just got cool. Probably got more cool because we was somewhere and MJ and a guy got into it. It was real messy. So it was about a bill. So the guy told MJ, you a rookie, you did that. Why don't you pick the check up? MJ, nigga, you get a check too. Fuck that, you pick it up. So they went at it and that. So it was like a lot of tension. So they almost got in a fight. And I'm like, man, y'all need to cut it out, this and that, man. He get a check. You been in the league before me. So it was a lot of that. And, they got all them guys out of there and took 2 or 3 years, but then he got to start running the team his way, and you see what happened.
I come to All-Star every year, and we take these pictures, and usually, like, when I was younger, it'd be Bron and Kobe, and they would be the ones talking, kind of leading the room. But this time, it was like Magic, Kareem. We walk out of the room where we take the big picture. You see MJ walking towards us. He wasn't even in there for the big picture. He just got there. He's walking, and there's more cameras on just him by himself than it is on all of us. And it was like, that's when you really saw the difference of like, man, this dude the GOAT. Like when he was walking, everybody was just staring at him. He was walking up, took over the whole situation.
This just showing respect and appreciation for the area you played in. You know, I got one of Magic, I got Moses, Michael. I mean, look, these were the guys I competed against, man. I mean, this is what basketball is all about. So I'm just paying respect to these guys.
Bro, I need y'all to hit the thumbs up and hit the subscribe because I really want to finish this video. Shout out to Basketball Time Machine. I'm going to finish it anyway, but I need y'all to hit the thumbs up and subscribe so I can come back and feel good about myself as I'm doing the video, man. This was absolutely amazing. I love these stories. It don't bring me back to a time because I'm not that old, but it brings me to a time where I played basketball. You know what I'm saying? I was dribbling on the court as a little kid, and I love basketball my whole life. You know what I'm saying, too? And I got a little taller as I got older. And if MJ would have been a part of my life, I think I could have made it, bro. I promise you I could have made it. I'm not going to speak on too much, but Donovan Mitchell is from my neighborhood. I could have made it if I would have seen a guy like this. Because his greatness is just, it's infectious on other people. You know what I'm saying, too? I feel great watching him. I feel like I could go do anything right now. And I really can't. So it really is an MJ effect that a lot of people don't speak on, and people want to be the GOAT, but there's only one GOAT. There's only one Black Kryptonian, and his name is Michael Jordan. Shout out to everybody. Hit that thumbs up. I'll be back.